Have you ever wondered how the Salem witch trials of 1692 might have influenced the modern American legal system? The Salem witch trials, a dark chapter in colonial Massachusetts history, were sparked by several girls exhibiting strange symptoms that led to accusations of witchcraft. It was a time when legal protections were scant, a stark contrast to the legal principles we hold dear today. The presumption of innocence was noticeably absent, leaving the accused in a terrifying position where they were presumed guilty until proven innocent. The court, known as the Court of Oyer and Terminer, relied heavily on spectral evidence, testimonies about dreams and visions, a form of evidence that would be deemed inadmissible in today's courts. These trials, marked by fear and hysteria, were a stark contrast to the legal principles we value today. The Salem witch trials were not just a dark chapter in history, but a pivotal event that would ultimately shape the future of legal thinking in the United States. Let's delve deeper into the legal intricacies of the witch trials. The Salem witch trials of 1692 were a stark embodiment of legal anomalies, a dark testament to the miscarriage of justice. The legal principles that we take for granted today were glaringly absent during these trials. For starters, the presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of modern legal systems, was entirely missing. The accused were, in fact, presumed guilty until proven innocent, an inversion of justice that is almost unimaginable today. In addition to this, the trials shockingly admitted hearsay as evidence. In the absence of physical proof, spectral evidence, which was essentially the testimony of those who claimed to see apparitions or specters of the accused, was considered valid. This acceptance of spectral evidence, coupled with the credence given to hearsay, led to a terrifyingly high potential for wrongful convictions. Also noteworthy was the lack of defense counsel for the accused. Those standing trial had no legal representation to argue on their behalf, to cross-examine witnesses, or to present exculpatory evidence. This left the accused vulnerable and defenseless, further skewing the scales of justice. Presiding over these trials was the Court of Oyer and Terminer. This court, established specifically for the witch trials, was the primary body that tried the accused witches. Relying on spectral evidence and hearsay, and operating without the basic legal protections we now consider fundamental, this court was instrumental in the numerous wrongful convictions that marked the witch trials. As we look back, we see a system that was not only flawed but also fundamentally unjust. These trials, a significant chapter in the history of colonial America, were riddled with legal anomalies. These trials, riddled with anomalies, led to numerous wrongful convictions. Public support for the trials began to wane, but what led to this shift in perception? As the trials progressed, the public's faith in the Court of Oyer and Terminer started to shake. The lack of legal safeguards, the acceptance of hearsay, and the reliance on spectral evidence were all becoming increasingly apparent. As the scales fell from their eyes, the public's fervor transformed into doubt and skepticism. This waning support was a catalyst for change. In the year of 1692, the court was dissolved, marking the beginning of the end for the Salem witch trials. But the story did not end there. The following year, in 1693, a sweeping pardon was issued for all remaining prisoners, a clear signal of the shifting winds of justice. However, it took another 18 years until 1711 for the state of Massachusetts to fully acknowledge the injustice that had transpired. Those who had been wrongfully executed were exonerated, their names cleared from the stain of witchcraft. Not just that, the families of the executed were compensated, an act of contrition from a system that had failed them. This marked a turning point, setting the stage for a transformation in the American legal landscape. So, how exactly did the Salem witch trials influence the American legal system, you may ask? The answer lies in the harsh lessons learned from the grave injustices of the trials. Remember, during the Salem witch trials, the accused were presumed guilty until proven innocent, a stark contrast to our modern understanding of justice. This presumption of guilt flipped the scales of justice upside down, placing a near impossible burden on the accused to prove their innocence. This was a glaring flaw that would later lead to significant reforms in the American legal system, solidifying the principle of innocent until proven guilty as a cornerstone of justice. Moreover, the trials were marred by the acceptance of hearsay and spectral evidence. Spectral evidence, testimony about dreams and visions, was considered valid proof of witchcraft. This acceptance of subjective and unverifiable evidence was another gross violation of fair trial standards. Recognizing this, future American courts would come to demand more rigorous standards of evidence, rejecting hearsay and insisting on direct and verifiable proof. The lack of defense counsel for the accused was yet another injustice of the trials. The accused witches were left to fend for themselves, without the assistance of legal counsel to navigate the complex and biased proceedings. This glaring absence of legal representation would eventually lead to the establishment of the right to counsel, a fundamental tenet of modern American jurisprudence. The Salem witch trials, while a dark chapter in history, had a profound impact on the evolution of American law. The grave injustices of the trials served as a stark reminder of the importance of legal safeguards and the presumption of innocence. They highlighted the need for fair and unbiased proceedings, the right to counsel, and strict standards of evidence. These hard-learned lessons from Salem would go on to influence future legal thinking in the United States, paving the way for the robust legal protections we enjoy today. The trials served as a catalyst for important legal reforms, ultimately shaping the American legal system we know today. The Salem witch trials, a dark chapter in history, served as a catalyst for important legal reforms, ultimately shaping the American legal system we know today.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get early access to our videos, and where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits saying cheers and have a good day.